the guy walks up to my table with a big stack of books. He had like 7 books with a ribbon tied around it. And, so clearly the guy has seen books in his lifetime. And based on his dialect, I can tell he was kind of street savvy. He wasn't, this guy didn't grow up in isolation, And so he comes up to the table and he's like, "What do you have here?" And I was like, "Well, I make comic books and I draw." And he goes, "Comic books? I'm not familiar." It's like, okay, yeah, you're that guy. So.
Humbl Fam, how about y'all come on in and let's have us another visit here on the Humbl Show. I'm Grant Fletcher, being joined as always by my co-hosts Moonbeam Hallows and Brandon Cox, and joining us this week, a special guest, a man of many mediums, comic book creator Kody Chamberlain here on the call with us as well. How we doing, everybody?
Hello.
Hey, doing cool.
Good.
Kody, I introduced you as a man of many mediums because I've heard you say that about yourself before.
It's true. I'm a really big deal.
I think it's accurate.
Hey, look,
yeah,
one of my favorite things is Kody drawings. I've got a picture that Kody drew of my daughter that you probably don't even know that you did. It was like 100 years ago. And then I've got some kind of like vampire that you drew that you probably don't remember because you just, it was just, you whipped it up. And yeah,
I'd like to see those. I have no memory.
I'll send you a picture. Yeah, absolutely.
I have 2 of your drawings, your illustrations, rather full-on thing in my house. I have your latte monster. Is it the mocha monster you call it, or
mocha monster?
Mocha monster.
Awesome.
So it's this coffee creature that's coming out of a coffee cup that's on a saucer, and he has like the latte, like the milk like going down like a ridge, and that's hanging over the coffee bar in my kitchen.
That's awesome.
And my daughter has the book monster in her room. Which is you did
That's
that
very
was
cool.
like a library card for Lafayette, is that right?
It was, yeah. I was asked to do the Lafayette Parish Library card one year. It's the whole year. They use it for the entire year. So I figured I'd come up with something fun, kid friendly. I wanted to incorporate books in some kind of way, and they seemed to like it. So then, of course, they kicked me out of the library a couple weeks later, but that's a whole different story.
They kicked you out of the library. Were you talking in there? What were you doing?
It's Lafayette. It's a Lafayette Parish Library, and they found out that I lived in Vermilion Parish. We had moved a couple years ago, and I guess you're supposed to not use the different parish library.
Wow.
So the real question is, who snitched?
Yeah,
I don't know. Somebody ratted me out. Yeah, somebody turned me out.
They're real serious.
It was probably the guy who was supposed to do the artwork for the card.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. Somebody snitched.
What a real cool guy. I think we should all be more like that guy.
Yeah.
Get invited to plenty of parties afterwards, and
By the fireplace.
give pretty ladies hugs. I don't know what cool people do.
Yeah. Well,
I still feel, because Kody, you were with us
a free piece.
That's right. You were with us at Louisiana Comic-Con, and I still feel like I'm recovering today. Like, I thought I was recovered, and then it got past like 7 p.m. tonight, and I was like, oh, no, I'm not recovered at all.
No.
Yeah,
I was okay except for my voice. My voice is still a little shaky. Everything's so loud. You have to talk above normal for the entire weekend, and it always happens. My voice just kind of goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, Brandon, it's like you sit at a table, you're at the table all weekend, and it's like people come up to you and they ask you a question, and they ask you that question for the first time, and you answer that question for them, and then they leave, and the next person comes up and they ask you the same question that the previous person had asked you. So it's basically for you're just having like the same conversation over and over again every like few minutes at the con.
Yeah, but it's a good thing. You have time to work out the proper answer. It may take 20 or 30 times to get it right. So it's good practice, those repetitions.
True enough. If you have that many people, I mean, what you bring with you this week? You brought Punks, your book Punks, right?
Yes, almost sold out. I did a quick little exclusive for Louisiana Comic-Con called Good Boy.
Yeah.
Kind of a I don't know if you guys remember Creepy and Eerie, the comic anthologies or something like Tales from. It's that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool about the hometown show is when I fly, I travel as light as I can. So I bring usually one folder of art and whatever new book is coming out. But for the hometown show, sorry, it's my cat. She said hi.
Oh, don't worry. Mine will be knocking down my camera momentarily.
For the hometown show, I can bring out all the old stuff because I have it, easily available. I can drive right up to the door and unload it. So everyone got a kick out of that. I brought pages out from as early as 2004.
That's awesome.
Laying around that have been in storage forever, or I find stuff in the bottom of bins, and so I just pull all that stuff out and put it out, and people love it. So it's cool.
Yeah. I don't normally bring that here.
This was from the after.
Yeah. I'm about to say something about it. I never go to after parties because I don't really like parties.
Me neither.
I like to go to my room, or I like to go out to eat with a few people. But I went to an after party one time that you and Rob were doing. You had easels set up, and you
the live art show.
It was the most fun I've ever had out. Like,
yeah, those are cool.
I've been chasing that, trying to figure out how to make that work again. But I got this that night.
Now we're talking about.
Oh, that's cool. I remember.
That's real cool.
Okay, that's I can see a little bit of the fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm way back.
Yeah.
That character.
We'll get shoot me a picture of that. We'll drop it in there.
Of it. But yeah, there's Kody's little signature right there.
That's awesome. That character is Dead Billy from the 30 Days a Night run that I did, written by Steve Niles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to have that.
I was going to ask if that's what that was from. If it was from 30 Days a Night, so that
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did I feel like
yes, my cat just knocked the light down. That's what happened.
Your cat knocked the light down. Brandon's cat drags his camera down.
This is the culprit right here. This is the little turd.
Oh, what a little goofball.
Her name is Shadow Sun, and she's causing trouble tonight.
She's wearing a tuxedo and everything, all formal.
The moment that Bob wakes up from his little rest, I'll grab him. But he's resting right now, so I'm not going to disturb him.
Just side note for everybody. I just realized the graphic I used here. It says our next convention is Louisiana Comic-Con. That's not true. I forgot to change it out for this recording. It's actually Mobile Bay Anime Fest, April 20th.
Oopsie daisy, just
in Daphne, Alabama. Just forget it. We're going to plug that anyway. But yeah. Did we? So I think it's safe to say that some of us had some really odd interactions this weekend as well. We talked about this a little bit. There was a group of guys, pair of guys that said they were monks. I don't know how you verify whether or not someone is a monk. I don't know if there's like,
Were they? Did it? What do you remember in the airplane? When you're going through the airport and those guys keep stopping. Was it kind of like that? I never saw them.
Know. They had like mostly shaved heads with like a little bit of something on the back there,
Some they had like Scotch tape right here.
Yeah, some kind of something on the forehead there. Yeah. But definitely like a white guy who looked like he was from, I don't know, maybe like Denham Springs or Walker, Louisiana, or something like that.
Lucis.
And they called themselves Saffron Books, I believe. Is that who it was? Saffron Books, is that right?
It was.
Oh,
okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to say they were. I'm not going to say they were pulling a scam. I'm not going to say
that they were some shysters.
I'm not going to say it was
you can absolutely say it.
But I am going to say that they had some very dirty tactics, and I was made aware of what they were doing at the end of the weekend. I wish I had known ahead of time because I've seen this before. Like when it was described to me, I was like, "Oh, I know exactly what this is." And because so anyway, it's the kind of thing where like they come up to you and they put something in your hand, and then they're like, "That'll be like $15, please," after it's in your hand. And then they do this thing. Well, we're we have a whole group, and we're a nonprofit, and we do this and we do that and whatever else. Anyway, they got kicked out, or their contract has been canceled for future shows, I guess, right? So
yeah, they weren't kicked out. Like they had just keep doing it. We told them like, don't leave your booth, or that's what
they did.
Don't leave your booth, and they just kept doing it. So as Joey was going over there, or Sean or somebody, one of our security was like, they're packing up and leaving right now. So
okay.
yeah, but they They had signed up for a couple other shows, I think, but they're not.
Well, and that's the thing. They do that. What they do is they get away with that because they kind of play on your sympathies, right? They make you think that they're part of some noble cause or whatever. But
see,
really
they had no idea. I have no sympathies, and they didn't know that.
Yeah. See, Kody, you had an interaction with him. You were able to tell like immediately, like, oh, something's not right here.
The guy walks up to my table with a big stack of books. He had like 7 books with a ribbon tied around it, and so clearly the guy has seen books in his lifetime, and based on his dialect, I can tell he was kind of street savvy. He wasn't. This guy didn't grow up in isolation. And so he comes up to the table and he's like, "What do you have here?" And I was like, "Well, I make comic books and I draw." And he goes, "Comic books? I'm not familiar." It's like, okay, yeah, you're that guy. So says,
wow.
He says, "Hey, would you like some free books?" And I was like, "No." I said, "I'm good. It's probably not my kind of thing." And I said, if you want to do a trade, we can do a book for a book. And he says, "No, we're just looking for donations today." And I kind of turned on the pressure a little bit and told him, I'm not here to spend money. I'm here to make it. So, I'd love it if you pick something from my table and I can sell you a book. And he wasn't feeling that. And so he kind of moved on. But yeah, clearly a scam guy.
I feel like that's such a hilarious tactic. I had Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door about 6 or so months ago. And one of them pointed to my cactus outside and was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Dude, that's a cactus, my man. A friend of mine gave it to me."
That's awesome.
And he was like, "Someone just gave that to you? Oh my, what?" Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was enthralled by this
sort of
thing that everybody
icebreaker.
knows what it is.
Yeah, they when I was talking to them, I was getting money back from something because they, I could tell about the whole situation with that. And basically, they pulled this thing where I was talking to one of them, and then the other one came up and started asking me questions, and then this one asked me a question before I could answer it. And I was like, "Oh, so yeah, this is what y'all are doing. You're pulling some kind of tactic here, where you gang up
lots
on
of
people."
guilt.
And
Lots of guilt.
I had to get a little, had to give them the eye. You know what I mean?
Give them the old stank eye.
and then shortly after is when they started packing up. So,
Yeah.
really weird. So Saffron Books, my advice to anyone out there, my personal advice, not on behalf of anyone else, is I just, if you're running a convention out there, just don't work with them. Now, granted, they will probably have changed their name by they probably changed it by Monday. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure that they'll have a full head of hair by then as well.
And I believe they fed some kind of line too coming in. They're like, "Oh yeah, we have like art books or something like that." And they were
here's the thing. Like everybody, all the vendors are vetted. It's not like we just let any Yahoo in. But when I was looking at their stuff and their website, I was like, and it was like, "Eastern Books, go Asia," and I'm like, well, they probably got some manga. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
what I was like. They probably got.
I think all of their materials were misrepresentative. I think it happens.
Yeah.
Right. So they do that.
I blame myself. So.
It's really, I think these guys they're used to kind of working the system. Is what they do. So. Also they were wearing like robes, but they had like blue jeans and tennis shoes on underneath them. So like, it's like, okay, clearly you're not going to like a mountaintop monastery after you leave here or something like that. So,
and maybe
I don't think they knew Kung Fu either. I could just tell by looking at them.
Which is a shame.
I'm positive they did not. Especially the way he like averted his eyes away from me whenever I gave him a little word of warning there too. So, it got a little intense for a second there.
Door to door.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if some monks knock on your door. And at one point in time, Kody, you'll love this too. I heard them tell somebody, "Well, we're monks, not punks." And I was like,
nice.
from the author of Punks, I'm going to say that typically in my experience, punks are actually good people. They're actually okay.
And also, punks can be monks. There was a big Hare Krishna like hardcore punk scene in the New England, especially like the New York area.
Oh yeah, okay.
You've seen the first Muppet movie?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's the running joke throughout the whole movie. Have you tried Hare Krishna? Yeah. So I'm just putting that out there as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. But we all made it back in one piece, and we were ready for the next one. Kody, what do you have coming up? Where are you heading to next? Do you know?
Nothing.
Physical. I mean, like live. Yeah. I know you're always working on something. So.
Yeah, I don't have any appearances. That's not true. I'm doing the Writers Guild of Acadiana. I'm going to be a guest speaker over there. God, I wish I had my calendar handy. I don't even have the date. It's coming up last week of the month here, so it's coming up in a couple weeks.
Are you affiliated with that guy he had a booth at the what was it called? It's like Words with Ed G.
Ed Goche, yeah, I know. Yes. He's the one. It's going to be on the 20. It's going to be on the 26th, Tuesday the 26th at 6 p.m. Lafayette South Library.
Nice.
I hope they let me.
He's awesome. He wants to do a panel next year.
Ed's really cool. He kind of runs the WGA. That's to some degree. He's heavily involved, but he's great. They do their meetings on the same night as my classes. I do these comic book classes for kids, and they're on Tuesday, same night as. I haven't been to a meeting in quite a while, but it's a great group of writers. They really have their stuff together. They always have good speakers, and I mean, it's some of these are more like a support group, but not this one. This one's serious writers, and they're pushing books out. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wonder how he did. I didn't get to go check on him this weekend, but I hope he did well. He said it was his first time setting up at one of these.
Yeah, he does the farmers market, the Lafayette Farmers Market at Munkus Park.
Ooh, right on.
Every week. Yeah, that's cool. A Saturday morning. That's up over there.
That's real dope. Hey, you said what was it? You said was your most recent project that came out?
I just did a short comic. It's a 12-page comic. I did it actually for this show this past weekend called Good. Okay.
Yeah, that was the Good Boy. That was the it had the dog on the cover and everything like that. Real dope. I meant to.
That's right. Yeah,
I meant to come by. I had a really weird. I felt like my schedule was like real packed this time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I'm just
Yeah, you did a lot of panels.
This is the first time you've done the whole deal. Usually you doing like the smaller panels and then helping Matt. This is the first time you ran the whole thing.
Mm-mm.
At Louisiana.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. No, I'm not complaining at all. I got there and I was like, well, bring it. But I just felt like it was like just different than usual. But still, it was a good time. I had a good time. I had fun doing it. I had fun melting my brain. It was all good.
Yeah, Sarah, the ASL lady, she normally has help, but she was doing everything.
Look, can we talk about that real quick? I'll throw to Sarah. Normally she has someone to tag out to.
They're supposed to trade out every 15 minutes.
Yes.
And just so they don't collapse on stage. She did the whole weekend alone.
Every single panel all weekend.
That is insane.
Anytime somebody needed ASL on the floor, they tagged her and she ran over there and was there in no time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A real like hero of the weekend for sure. And we really appreciate it. She I made sure she got a round of applause a few times throughout the weekend just because she was up there doing it and making it happen. So it was real cool.
Yeah. She's very awesome.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So I guess we are gonna let's see here. So you had Erie come out, and then there's I say Erie, not your Good Boy book come out, and then there's something else.
Good Boy. Yeah.
I felt like not long before that though.
Yeah, I've been working on TV stuff for a couple years now. I have a couple projects. I can't really talk about them till they're announced officially, if they're ever announced. But there's been some really cool development on some of the projects. Oddly enough, not even comic book related. These are kind of original things that I've been out pitching, and we got some good traction, some great attachment. So we'll see how far we can get up the food chain with that. But recently I've been helping Rob with his stuff. Rob Guillory is an office mate, longtime friend of mine. Whatever he needs, if he needs notes on scripts, I've lettered his books for him. I do his logos, whatever he needs to kind of get books up and running too. I help with that. But I have a couple new comic scripts done. 2 of them are out to artists right now, so I'll be writing for artists for the first time. And I'm kind of inching forward on this new one that I've been working on, as of yet unannounced. So, go ahead and count it up. The 6 projects I can't talk about. It's very exciting.
Yeah, get ready for these things that you can't be told
That's
about.
right.
Yet.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on all of Cody's socials is what
We'll just be looking out.
Yeah, we'll keep a lookout.
Yeah,
Yeah, look for those.
It was real cool, like, because we started the day on Saturday with you and Rob's panel, and y'all do, mostly like create, things that you guys came up with, creative things, and then we started Sunday with John Beatty, who, inked and did art on a lot of just really iconic runs there, and it was interesting seeing like the difference in y'all's panels, just because like. You and Rob are like, no, we wanted to be in control of what we did. It really wasn't as satisfying working on someone else's creation or characters or whatever. And then John's like, I like Captain America. I wanted to work on Captain America, And so it was cool to see like the difference in the two of y'all and what y'all
that's what's cool about the comic book industry and Comic Cons. There's kind of something for everybody. Whatever you like, you can find that thing, and the industry's. You can kind of make of it what you need. That's been pretty great. And if your work is at a high enough caliber, you can sometimes get approached with really cool opportunities that you wouldn't even have considered. It's a great industry, and the people are. And this is actually the first time I met John. By the way, I had never met him before.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I know he's been at other shows, but sometimes you just get busy with these things, or when I get a break, he's not on break, and sometimes you just have to kind of line up. And we just happen to get there both early on Saturday, and we're done setting up and just started chatting. So it's kind of nice that his table was right next to ours, and we got to hang out with him a little bit. But I mean, what a legacy to worked on Secret Wars, that Black Spider-Man costume that gave birth to Venom and Carnage and everything else. It's a hell of a legacy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because he was talking about how like he doesn't follow any of the movies, so he just kind of knows when something's happening, depending on what covers people are bringing him at conventions. So he said, like, all of a sudden out of nowhere,
That's
like,
funny,
people were bringing him, like, Thanos quests to sign, Thanos quests. And finally he was like, why do I keep seeing Thanos quests? And he was like, because he's in the movie. And he was like, okay, sure, whatever. But he had no idea.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's how he keeps up with what they're making is whatever cover people are bringing him to sign at that.
That's interesting. Yeah.
He said Secret Wars never really slacks off, of course, because like you said, black suited Spider-Man. People are all about it all the time. So it's also funny how he was like, people like to say like, oh, they were planting the seeds for Venom like way further back here, and this is how you knew they were going to change him. And he's like, no.
No way.
They came to us and said, change all the characters, and that's what we did to Spider-Man. And I was
yeah.
It was a hell of a time, though. It was wild in there. We had a lot of people in there on Saturday. We had plenty of people in there on Sunday. The energy was really good on Sunday as well. I don't know if y'all found the same thing, but
I thought it was a great turnout.
Yeah.
I mean, for what we do, like but I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the show, but the reason why we're in Lafayette is because of Rob and Kody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
More Kody than Rob. I kind of drug Rob along with me.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah, you guys had done a show in Shreveport that was just fantastic, and Rob and I were both up there, and we had been talking off and on about doing a small comic show here in Lafayette, and we did a show back before the app called Grinder, just because it was inspired by us hanging out at cafes, and we had what we called the fringe arts and entertainment art. So it wasn't really a fine art show; it was comic book artists and T-shirt makers and stuff like that. Photography. It was a really cool little show, but we kept talking about doing a real comic show, and you guys did such a great job over there, and I approached about it, and he kind of mentioned that they were looking at Baton Rouge. It's like, no, we can't do that. We can't let that happen.
You hear that, Grant?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. So we went and stole it from Baton Rouge and brought it to Lafayette. So I hope he doesn't hate me for it. I hope he's enjoying it.
No, I love Lafayette.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, Lafayette's not bad, not a bad place at all. And you still kind of do the whole like coffee shop kind of workshop thing from time to time, though, right? Coffee and comics, I think is what you call it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comics and coffee and comics. Depending on the year, we change the poster up. But
yeah.
So we have a studio, but there's a fan element to comics. We don't like people coming up to the studio, and we try to do as much stuff in the comic shops as we can. But Usually around Christmas time, sometime in early December, we'll do a comics and coffee downtown at Rev, a cool little cafe downtown. We'll bring books out and let people come over and get, pick up the new stuff or get stuff signed or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Rev's a pretty dope little spot.
Yeah, it's the only one that really has the space to do something like that. There are some other ones that are closer to us, but they're smaller.
Hey, let me ask you. So I discovered Jet coffee this week.
Yeah, Jet's cool. Yeah.
And I like, because normally I'm either go into the green room to get my own coffee, or or we're having to drink Starbucks will, but it was good.
Yeah, that's John Tomasetti, I believe his name is. He's great. The owner's really great. He actually has one about to open near our studio, which is a top secret location. But we have a Jet about to open near the studio, and he's going to be remodeling the Johnson Street Java.
Yeah, and it's going to be huge. The hangar, they're calling it.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big one. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to all these getting going.
Those guys it was great. Everybody there was so nice. And
that's awesome.
They're fantastic.
You would mention it Sunday morning. I'm gonna have to check it out next time I'm in the area.
It was good.
It's all about.
I mean, it's I don't like, without recommendations, I don't like going to coffee shops because 9 times out of 10 I'm disappointed. And I'm stuck with coffee I can't drink or don't like. And it was good. It was real. I mean, I just got a black Americano, but it was good coffee.
I mean, that's working on the road, I guess, taking risks. It's pretty much on whatever's around you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't, unless you just want to be stuck at the Applebee's all the time, which I don't. I can tell you right now, I don't. That's not my thing.
I don't want to be stuck at the Applebee's.
I get my best
in which
coffee
case,
at
Applebee's. I love the whatever you all have there. So whatever they have at Applebee's, I love it all. It's great. It's fantastic.
I don't even remember the last time I went to an Applebee's.
Could not tell you.
The last time I went to an Applebee's, they sat us. There was nobody in the restaurant. We waited 20 minutes and then we left.
There you go. The only thing I can tell you about the Applebee's in my town is it's next door to the Scientology temple, and that's true.
Hey, baby!
So, you have a Scientology?
We do. Yeah, very close to my house.
We need to get those guys a booth next.
Yeah, man.
If you want to sponsor?
I'm sure their books are probably
wouldn't put books in
Ron Hubbard. He can write. That guy can write.
Yeah, there we go. Look, founded by a writer. Okay, all right. Maybe the books are decent.
That would actually work at the comic.
I've seen Battlefield AE. Maybe I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
All right.
I'm surprised.
Sponsorship, Grant.
What happened now?
Said get that sponsorship.
Work on that sponsorship. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you got all year to figure that out.
I think you got to get audited to do that. Anyway.
Yeah.
We had a wild Sunday because they were running a marathon all around the convention center, and it was blocked for the wrestlers. WWE was moving in. I'm not sure how. When I walked into the building, there were still thousands of people there. I don't know how anyone got in because it took me about half an hour to figure out how to get in there.
Nerds find a way, baby. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If I'm in another town, look, we went to Comic Palooza in Houston, and I know we parked 5 miles from the venue, and with my whole tribe, and walked and was just like, well, this is the way it is, and sure did. So do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah. That's true. Someone like that. I think Avery was telling us about one of the shows he went to, and he said it took him like 3 hours just to get into the vendor hall. So
that was
Dragon Con.
Is there a Dragon Con? Okay, yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, I never
that people are willing to wait
that
long. What's that, Brandon?
I never ever want to go to Dragon Con. I've gone to like some humongous shows before, but like Dragon Con is it's too big. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, no shade on Dragon
Con. Seems like a lot.
If it's not your cup of tea, then
I'd like to go just to go.
Check it out.
I've never been.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of big ones I'd love to go to, but
I'd like to go on somebody else's dime, though.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Hey, look, if you want to book us, Dragon Con, to come do a panel,
research.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if you want to book us, we'll go. That's fine. Yeah, we'll do some research. We'll do something like that. We'll do a Kickstarter. Send the podcast to Dragon Con, I guess.
Yeah,
that's what I'm all about, right? Yeah, I think. But we like I said, I felt like the energy was higher on Sunday than it normally is. I don't know if that was y'all's experience on the floor though, because I'm so far. I feel like I'm removed from y'all. Once the show actually starts, like I peek in and I check in from time to time, but I don't know. What did y'all think? How did y'all feel about Sunday?
That was the vibe in the office while I was watching the bag.
Yeah.
As I got that vibe in the office.
Yeah, Sundays are always slower, universally slower, every show we ever do, but that's kind of nice because you can spend a little bit more time on art commissions, talk to people. The bargain hunters always come around on Sundays. That's great. It is nice that the even like the longer shows when you do San Diego, 6 and 5.5 day show, every day kind of has its own energy to it. It's kind of nice that the pace is different and the crowd size is different, and you catch a totally different crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always say it's like going back to the buffet for that second helping if you go on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Because like you said, you can go and shop a little bit, and the pressure is off. You don't feel like you have to get everything in. You're just kind of doing what you feel like doing, and yeah, I guess doing like commissions and things like that too. I hadn't thought about that. And that was another thing that John Beatty talked about, how he's always kind of like, I don't know, like he's like, I feel like as soon as I take a commission, I'm gonna get like a rush of people coming to the table wanting things signed, and then I can't work on this commission, and then like. You're in your hotel room like all night working on this commission or whatever.
I don't do it. Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah.
No, I don't even tell people I do them. I don't advertise that I do commissions for that reason, because your head is down the whole convention and you don't see anything. Like, I could stay in my studio and do that. That's not why I do conventions. And some people do. They like it. They like kind of having their head down and doing work through the whole weekend. But the reason I do conventions is to meet people and network and shake some hands and chat, and that's why I'm there. I'm not there to draw all weekend. So if someone really wants one, or they get excited about a certain character or something, I'll take them. But like you'll never see a sign at my table advertising it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of picky about it.
And you're not only there to promote your artwork as well. I mean, because you're writing and you're drawing.
That's right.
Like you have a little bit of everything. So you do want to talk to them about the characters and the concepts and the overall story and things like that too.
Right. That's right.
The potential TV deals and things like that as well. That you're allowed to talk about at least, because there are NDAs. NDAs are a real thing and they're a powerful thing. But can't break those. But but it was good. I'm glad we closed it out strong. I'm glad we started strong. That was really awesome. And our teardown I felt like it was pretty smooth. I don't know about how everybody else felt.
Oh yeah.
It was good. I mean, probably a little different for Kody in your situation, tearing down, but
in 3 minutes I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Look at his split.
We had Fizzo's sponsored our teardown.
Delicious.
They fed all my volunteers, and they brought enough food for a freaking army.
Wow.
And it was so good. Yeah.
I remember, great spot out that way.
I remember a few years ago, you telling me that we were kind of taking like guests to Drago's, and you were like, "Well, that's Creole. That's not Cajun food."
Yeah. There's a difference.
That's a New Orleans. It's a New Orleans thing. The food is fine, but it's not local. It's not.
Yeah. So we got Cajun food this time.
Yeah, Fizzo's great. We love Fizzo's. It's a good spot.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't get. I'm sorry I didn't get any at the teardown. I would have stayed and moved a couple chairs.
Could have stayed. Pulled some drapes out of fed you.
A couple drapes. All right.
Yeah.
We had enough left over that we had enough left over that there was enough to take to the ER, the overnight nurses over at the hospital. There was so much.
Oh, that's
left.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad they got into that. That was good stuff, man. That was real good. Yeah. Well, now I'm just ready for the next one. Not just the next show we're doing, but the next Louisiana Comic-Con.
I can't wait. Yeah.
I know we have some things in the works
things
for that show.
Do we have the dates picked out?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I think we do.
Greg, what are the dates? March 8th and 9th.
March
awesome.
8th and 9th, 2025. Y'all put it on your calendar. Get ready. Get those books ready to get signed and get your cosplays ready now. And it's going to be a dope time. I'm ready for it. Ready to take it on. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So, Kody, here's the deal. I don't know if you know this or not, but we like to close out the show with a little trivia game every week. I don't know how you feel about that.
Oh, I'm terrible with trivia.
Okay,
let's go.
Cool.
Let's do
so
it.
This should be awesome then.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Our guests say that often, and then they win. So
they always win.
They always do.
I'm going to surprise you with my lack of knowledge of all things comics and pop culture.
Not everybody. Actually, yeah. That's another thing.
In some ways, I'm a bit of an outsider.
Because you work on your thing.
I didn't grow
hold on.
No, I didn't grow up with it. I didn't grow up with comics. I came to comics through drawing, not through comics. So, I was a couple years into college before I really got into it.
We're not heavy on the comics on the trivia here. We don't typically do that. Although, as an aside, you're talking about things pop culture. I want to put this out here right now too as a point. I wanted to bring this up earlier. I forgot to. So I don't know if y'all saw the movie stills coming out for the new the reboot of The Crow.
Yes.
And everybody was like, hating all over it, and I was like, I'm gonna wait to reserve judgment until I see something.
Oh, not me. I'm not.
No, you're like, oh, that's garbage already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the character doesn't look edgy. He looks like a guy who works at the car wash who needs to borrow my phone to make a call real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
fine,
accurate.
but yeah.
Actually. Well, I'll tell you what, as of today, as we're recording this, the trailer came out, and it looks like garbage. I'm going to say that right now. It looks pretty awful. It looks, they tried to go like over the top with the gore, I guess, to shock you, but it just looks like a cartoon. I feel like the original Crow, like the supernatural elements were a little more like understated, and this is very much like they just turned him into like a superhero kind of guy, basically.
Yeah,
it's not exactly what I was. I could care less if they, or could not care less if they changed the character look a little bit here and there, but I don't know. I feel like the essence of it is gone based on the trailer. So anyway, I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah,
and, whenever you go watch it and it's bad, I'll just remind you that I told you so. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets rave reviews, I'll reconsider.
Sure. I reserve the right to change my mind.
That's right. It didn't catch me.
Right. So I've got a movie trivia game here. So I settled on doing this is called Jack Black movie lines.
Okay.
Kung Fu Panda 4 came out, and the reviews are on the internet. They're out there. You can read them for yourself. But I got some lines here said by Jack Black in a movie, and y'all just have to try and tell me what movie it is from. Just whoever can yell it out and tell me the answer, then I'll give you a point, and then we'll see what happens here towards the end. How do you feel about that?
Man, if you got some lines from Bernie, I got this.
It's just all Bernie. It's just Bernie lines, and that's it. Nothing else.
Good.
So anyway, all right. Here's our first one. RL Who? I don't know who that is.
Goosebumps.
That is Goosebumps. Cody said it first, actually. I'm gonna give.
Yes.
All right. How about this one? Dude, if you get all the nachos stuck together, that's one nacho.
Saving Silverman.
Saving Silverman is correct. All right. How about Rob? Top 5 musical crimes perpetrated.
High Fidelity.
High Fidelity. That's
Yeah.
Nice.
Did I get it?
You did.
Yeah.
Good. High Fidelity. Perpetuated by Stevie Wonder, which is funny because I feel like Brandon has had the same conversation somewhere along the way on this on this very show.
Yeah, more than likely.
All right. What about it wasn't the airplanes, it was Beauty killed the Beast?
King Kong.
King Kong. Brandon's got 2 here.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. Also, that movie was just that Peter Jackson movie was just like way too long for what it was. I think Peter Jackson was in this moment where he was like, "Well, I make long movies. It's got to be a long movie." So when he falls at the end, he just falls for forever. It just takes forever for that gorilla to hit.
I hate that like pretty much everybody that died on the island was a nameless CGI extra that was never shown. Like they kill like 17,000 people on that island. But you only see,
red shirts.
You only see 5 people walk off the boat.
Yeah. Why do you need anyone else? I don't know. You just got to have a lot of fodder for the machine there.
Yeah.
Right, how about this one? They think I do not know a buttload of crap about the gospel, but I do.
Oh, is that the one that wasn't very good? That was him and then the Michael Cera looking guy?
You're thinking of Year One, which was not very good, but that's not the movie.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so
It's not good.
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and guess School of Rock.
It's not School of Rock.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Tropic Thunder's a great guess, but it's not it. That is actually Nacho Libre because he was clergy in that movie. Yeah.
We have how many original Nacho Libre posters do we have? Like 43. Yeah, we got.
So what you're saying is you need to be following Dollar Ben on Whatnot.
Yeah. Follow Dollar Ben.
I will buy at least one of those posters.
All right, Brandon wants one. He's in on it.
Give you one.
All right, how about? Did you just throw a burrito out your window?
Anchorman.
That is Anchorman.
I never saw Anchorman.
Brandon's crushing it.
He is.
I've turned it on several times to watch it, and it just.
So Jack Black is a very small scene. Will Ferrell's driving his car. He's eating a breakfast burrito, and he gets full, and he throws it out the window, and it hits Jack.
This burrito's so filling, but I can't finish it.
Yeah, and he wrecks on his motorcycle. So anyway, that's the scene. All right. What do you want, non-rocker? This line is reserved for rockers.
School of Rock.
School of Rock.
That's not it. This line is reserved for rockers only, so I can't really talk to you right now.
Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
anyone
that.
can catch Brandon, but we're gonna go ahead and do the last couple anyway.
Brandon, you're killing it.
Yeah.
You're Jack Black's biggest fan. I hope the next one's from Airborne. I know all of his.
I can tell you. I'll rule out that one for you here. We're big fans of your records too. We like to think that Hard Day's Night is our Guilty as Charged.
Walk Hard.
It is Walk Hard, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, he plays Paul McCartney in that movie.
Oh.
There's a little scene, a little part with the Beatles, and like Paul Rudd is John Lennon. It's pretty good. And all right, here's the last one. It actually was a tiebreaker, but I'll just go ahead and throw it out here anyway. I didn't tell you, but Fatty's Fart 3 is coming down the pike, and there's a roll in there.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, that is Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very
I was
good,
waill for
very good.
something
Wow,
from Shallow
Brandon,
Hal.
the guest did not beat you for once. It's
It's such a spectacular day for me.
Yeah, feel good about yourself.
You know, you win the grand prize of absolutely nothing. Well done, thank you.
And I win that every single ding dang day.
I'm more of a Jack White, Jack Gray kind of guy. You know?
Yeah, of course.
But many shades of Jack.
Yeah. You like Cage the Elephant and things
Jack
like that.
Nance.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I get it.
That's right.
Well, y'all, I think we need to just go ahead and wrap this thing up. Kody, I know you. Where can we find you? Where should we locate you?
KodyChamberlain.com with a K, Kody with a K. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram and the various services. You can find me there too.
Cool. Perfect. Y'all check it out. Y'all check out Punks. It's a great book.
Punks is awesome.
A lot of good stuff Cody's got out there as well. And that should be a lot of fun. We got Mobile Bay Anime Fest coming up on April 20th in Daphne, Alabama. That's going to be a really good time as well. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure you do that. Give us a like, give us a comment, a rating. Follow us on all of our socials. Y'all know the drill. Why am I telling you this? You've already done all this, right? If you haven't, just go ahead and do it now. Check it out. We'll be back here next week for another visit here on The Humble Show. But until then, stay humble.